speaking of Brett Farve, what is it like being a head coach with a superstar personality such as Brett Farve? I know Brad Childress from the Minnesota Vikings last year in the Brett Farve, there was a controversy there where Brad wanted to take Brett out, and Brett said, "I'm not coming out." Is that ever a problem? I mean, working with those big personalities like that?
Well, the thing about Brett, somebody asked me that question not too long ago, and the thing about Brett, he always practiced, and he practiced hard, and he elevated our practice level. As you know, being in the military, preparation is huge, and developing instincts and skills that are necessary for combat. Even though we're not in that type of theater, we're in a different. We're playing a game, and you're doing real life things. We still practice. He always did that, and I'll be honest with you, I never asked him to come out of a football game. If anything, I always kept him in there probably a little bit too long sometimes, but because he gave us a great chance to win the football game, and so when he's on your team, you always have hope that you're gonna win, and I think. In many ways, I liken Brett Farve to a lot of the generals that I met over here, Lieutenant General that I've met, because they give you hope, and they give you belief that you're going to win.
I know, Brett Farve has a bunch of records. One of them being interceptions. Whenever he threw that long bomb, did you ever just close your eyes and think, "Oh my God"? What?
Well, I'll tell you a funny one. My first year in Green Bay, and we were playing the Minnesota Vikings. Dennis Green was coaching the Vikings at the time. We were in Lambeau Field, and we were in overtime. And I called in the NFL you call it a sluggo, which is a slant and go. And there was rolled up coverage, double coverage over there, and Antonio Freeman was the receiver. And he ran the route, and all of a sudden Brett dropped back, and he was going to throw it come heck of high water. And even though the safety was over the top, it wasn't a good decision. He throws it, and all of a sudden that ball gets tipped, and it just kind of rolls down Antonio's back and off of the other defender. And Antonio, it's surreal. It was in slow motion. He's laying on his back, makes the catch, and the defender thought the play was over. And he had defended the play, and Antonio gets up and runs for a touchdown. So there's an example of not a great decision, but a great memorable play on Brett Farve's part. But he's an aggressive quarterback, and he takes some shots. I thought last year he was very conservative in relationship to interceptions to touchdowns. He had a tremendous, probably his best year ever. So one thing about Brett, you never count him out. When you tell him he can't do something, he'll prove to you that he can do something. So he's very unique that way.
Was there any resentment between him and, say, Aaron Rodgers, or maybe even Brian Brom, who was brought in there? It's supposed to be a big thing, because he's from Louisville now. But he turned out to be having some struggles. But was there any resentment between Brett and Aaron Rodgers as far as, this is the guy that's supposed to – because nobody likes to see your replacement come in.
No, but Brett understood the situation at the time. I was only there 1 year with Aaron. Aaron's a good kid and has established himself as a top quarterback in his own right. But no, Brett was just going to do his deal and play, and he never saw himself as anything but the starter. And Brett Farve, I don't think, is someone who's going to stand on the sidelines in the National Football League and hold a clipboard and collect a paycheck. I mean, he's somebody who wants to be out on the field. He really gets his juice is fired up when he throws touchdown passes. I mean, when he can win football games and throw touchdown passes and be a part of big victories, I mean, I don't know if anybody gets more excited. He goes back to being a little kid in the backyard again. So my experiences with Brett have been just phenomenal memories that I've had of him and other players that were on those teams.
All right, cool. Moving back to the college scene, you are Texas A&M is in the Big 12. What is it like recruiting with schools, or recruiting against schools such as Texas or Oklahoma, and even now with Tommy Tuberville on the scene down there in the Big 12? How does Texas A&M have to compete with those schools?
Well, someone asked me, who do you worry about in the Big 12 in relationship to football games and recruiting? I just worry about us. I just worry about Texas A&M, and we have a great university, and we're centrally located in the state of Texas. We're 3 hours from Dallas, 3 hours from San Antonio, and an hour and a half from Houston. There's approximately 325 to 355 Division I football players in the state of Texas every single year. And I think we do a good job evaluating. We've only had one recruiting class play for us right now. We have the second one coming in this summertime, so we're looking forward to that. But there's enough players there for the in-state and Oklahoma out-of-state to come in and still have good programs. So I think we can compete. Obviously, Coach Stoops and Coach Brown have really established themselves, entrenched themselves in the Big 12 South, and with their programs, they've done a great job. Tommy Tuberville's going to do a great job out there at Texas Tech. He has a tremendous resume in his own right. So it's going to be competitive, but that's what college football is all about. And the fans, they love the rivalries that we have. And we're so close to everybody, which makes it kind of neat. And you know each other's business probably a little bit too much, and our fans even more so than anybody.